Hi guys, Jen here. Sorry about the cockeyedness of the video. We'll just do this. Alright, so there's been a couple updates. And sometimes life throws curveballs at you when you really thought you were dedicated to be on this one path, and the universe is like, nope, you gotta be on this other path. So basically what I'm saying is, I had the interview yesterday, was excited about it. I thought it went well. She was excited about it too. She said she'd get back to me about the results. I got the results back this morning. She emailed me and she said, sorry, we've gone with a different candidate. So that basically crushed me. So here I am going, I thought the universe, was on my back. Now I'm starting to doubt it and all this stuff. And then I started thinking, you know what? I started talking to a couple other people about the situation, and they all said, and it was different. Like, we weren't in the same room or anything, but every single other person also said, maybe the reason why this is happening is because you weren't destined to be there. And I didn't really even think about it, because all I was thinking about was being in a job and having money to survive. I didn't think about the fact that if I had gotten that job, maybe I would have regretted it and hated it and been more miserable than I am now. So I'm on here to say, sometimes when we pray and pray and pray for one situation to manifest the way we want it, and we think it's going to manifest, and it doesn't work out that way, or something falls through, it's not that it's actually falling through, because it's the universe and God and spirit and everybody out there that's not in here and that does not live in the 3D realm who can see a better path for us, or a lesson that we need to learn. Sometimes like this is a lesson on patience and trusting in the universe, because believe me, sorry, I haven't been feeling 100% lately. I've got like this throat thing, but basically you trust in the universe, and this is the daily nitty-gritty that people do not share. Like, they'll share, yeah, it worked for me, I had to have faith, I had to do this, but they don't share how you've got to at first go back and forth constantly with that fear. Like, when something doesn't happen, then you're like, oh my god, how am I gonna make ends meet? Oh my god, I can't think this. And then you start going back into the idea of lack. So instead of focusing on lack, we have to get ourselves out of that. Yes, the situation might still stay the same, especially right now. Right now, I don't have any money. I sold my necklace back, which I really didn't want to do, but I had to. I had no choice. Sometimes we have to make tough decisions. And I was hoping I could get the job to end up getting the money back to buy back the necklace. But I'm drinking milk today. I drank it yesterday too. It's my 2%, and I have not had an issue. So that's an interesting development as well. It helps this. Anyway, so sorry. I am learning that sometimes being stuck in that situation where you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel, you're stuck, life gives you shit, and you're like, lets you take time to focus on what's going on and to get right with your inner self. Not to necessarily focus. This is what people do. They focus on all the negative. Instead of taking that negative, transmuting it, and understanding the lesson that's underneath it, that's hidden within it, this is the whole reason why we go through these tough situations and these struggles and these hardships. I'm learning that now. Actually, I've learned it for a while, but I just forgot. And we tend to do that. We tend to forget. We get a bad part, and then all of a sudden we're working so hard, and then we work so hard, and we finally get our due justice or whatever, so you get your big paycheck, or you get that vacation you wanted. So then when you get that, you're all excited about it, and you focus solely on that. Or like I did with the necklace. I got my taxes in, I was like, oh yeah, and so I was just solely focusing on the necklace. And I wasn't realizing on what that option of being able to buy that necklace gave me. And so what the universe did is the universe saw that I was getting too petty about it, focusing too much on the object and not about the lesson and the ability to have that and be grateful for what I have. So what did the universe do? Turn the situation around again, so that I had to learn hardship again and to be re-put into that lesson. So it's like when you're taking a test and you're answering a question on a test and it's either A, B, or C. When you have that D question that says it could be all of them. It's actually that D question. So I know it's a bad example. So basically, the universe, I wasn't getting the lesson that was underneath. I was getting what I thought the lesson was, not the true lesson, the pseudo lesson. So the lesson that really was that the universe works in mysterious ways, and the universe provides us these opportunities to go within ourselves instead of seek outside material value to validate our lives. See, I got that tax money in, and immediately I went to, oh, I worked so hard. I got all this. I owe myself. I owe myself to get myself a present, or, to pat myself on the back for doing that. Yeah, it's good that you can pat yourself on the back and all that stuff. But the underlying issue is you don't need to be like, oh, I just got this greatest thing, and then you focus all on that item and not the reason why you were able to get that. I know, it's really esoteric, guys. Bear with me here. It's interesting. But these are the lessons that get us out of that 3D thinking and get us more enlightened and happier with ourselves. Like I said before, the Buddhist, less is more. They don't say that for nothing. I mean, there is a reason for that. So, anyway, I'm just coming on here to share with you a interesting revelation. That, yeah, sometimes the reason why we have these situations and we get out of them and then we end up coming back into them again is because we have not really learned the lesson that's right there. We've learned that top lesson, that 3D lesson that we thought was the lesson about supply and demand or feeding yourself, and that money actually you have to use money in this 3-dimensional world. But we didn't learn our spiritual lesson, the underlining lesson. See, in this life I'm learning now we have two different, it's hard to explain if you're not into opening your mind. They're like layers. It's like a layer cake, okay? You have different layers on a cake, but they're all the same, made out of the same stuff. It's just one layer is higher and one layer is lower, but they're all equal. Some layers may have different flavors. Some layers may have be thicker and longer than the other layers, but they're all the same stuff. Okay, so each layer basically represents a dimension or a subdivision of this earth. I know I'm getting a little heavy here for some of you guys, but just bear with me. We got to look for the underlying layer in that dimension. So this here, me, you, 3D, okay? Physical. The other layer is spiritual, all the stuff we can't see, like the ghosts that you say, the spirit, if you're religious, the God that you believe in, anything that you can't physically touch or feel, okay? Your gut instinct. When you're a mother and you know your kid's in danger. That stuff. That's that other layer. You can't disprove it, you just know it is. I mean, people have tried to disprove it, but there's not really like a proof or a not proof. But I'm saying that's another layer of the whole thing. So, in that dimension, those are layers and those are lessons that we have to learn. Like, if we didn't have that intuition about our kids being in danger and then they end up getting sick or hurt or something, that's a natural thing that we have. That's a subdivision of our physical form. So anyways, my point is, sorry for getting a little esoteric on you. My point is, there are lessons within lessons, okay? The reason why I'm here and that I didn't get that job interview is because I need to go further into myself. I need to sit down and understand what it is that I'm trying to attach it to. That I'm trying to... The main reason why I want that job is not because that job's a good fit for me. It's because I'm like, okay, I need to survive. Well, that's not the spiritual lesson. And until I learn that spiritual lesson of being okay with myself and finding my truth, then anything I get from there, or any lesson that I learn, or any situation that comes my way, might not be of my truth unless I know my truth. And everybody's got to know their own self. I can't explain it to you. You got to feel it. It's like intuition. So anyway, I know it's kind of, weird and stuff, but basically I'm still in this situation because I have not become right with myself and what I actually want to do. What I want to do is not of mainstream America or mainstream corporate work-wise. It's based in what I know is deemed for me in the esoteric platform playing field. I know I have gifts, but I'm afraid to share them for people saying, "Oh my God, you're freaking foo-foo, you're a woo-woo person, you're just," or other people saying, "Oh, you're just trying to get people's money and you're not a real, spiritual person that can actually get, all this other stuff," okay? So I've been putting off my talents and what I know to be my truth for fear that other people will condescend me, other people will shun me, other people will freaking start bad-mouthing me, things like that, or going and finding my crystals, or doing what I need or I want to do, So I conform. I conform to mainstream, and I try to get a job, a 9-to-5, when I know I'm going to be miserable at it. But I have to survive. I have to have money. So it's like you do in one perspective, but you don't in another. So until you can really gravitate towards moving those two perspectives into one, and making them like match up and equally flow together, that's when people get ultimate bliss. That's when people get ascension, they talk about, or being right with God, or being one with spirit. Okay? They found a way to be right with themselves, and they've used their energy, and they're happy, and they raise their vibration so that they can actually pour it out to the outside physical realm, and the physical realm adjusts and brings them abundance. So these are the little topics that the people who tote abundance and who share abundance, this is the stuff, the background stuff that you don't see happening to them as well. They had to go through the same thing before they got all their riches and all their stuff. Okay? I'm not talking about the people that just came into money. I'm talking about the people that worked hard for it, that realized their more spiritual center and stuff like that. It's more of a complicated process, but I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can. I'm hoping you guys, I'm sorry. But anyway, so I just want to come on here and say that's the reason why sometimes these hardships come back to us and give us a perpetual circle that we have to keep doing it until we can break out from that circle and learn our subdivision lesson, not the lesson that's necessarily on the top of it, but the subdivision lesson. That's when we'll break free of the pattern, and we won't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff. And then down the line, the more we get confronted with those hardships, the more we can not be affected by them, because we've learned the other lesson in the beginning about the fact that we're true with ourselves, and we understand that it's not about us and our physical realm and our physical, computers or jewelry or whatever we have that we're putting too much value on. Because that's another lesson the universe does. You put too much value on things, eventually it's going to crumble. I mean, you see it all the time with these big moguls that have a lot of money, and then some corruption comes apart, and then it all falls down. But there's also lessons within that. I'm not going to get into it. Everything's super complicated, and I'm trying to dumb it down to, simplified. Because there's, two sides of my brain. The really, really, one that really understands, the eons and all that stuff, and the angels and stuff, and then the one that's, more monotone, physics, science, everything we can see in the physical realm. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go get something to eat. Just want to come on here. I'm trying to upload a bunch of my videos. The Wi-Fi here is a little complicated. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna be doing with jobs now that one kind of fell through. I still have 3 other places I need to call. If not, then I'll be moving back in with my grandparents and seeing what that's what the heck's going on over there, and I still have to figure out what's going on with my health, because this is starting to be a serious problem now. Well, not serious. It's like a cold or something. I don't know. But I'm taking my supplements, doing my stuff. I think it's mainly just stress from what's going on, and I'm a high stressor, if you haven't noticed. So that's another one of my things. So what I'm gonna do is, in order for me to counteract the stresses, I play my video games, and I do hatchlings on Facebook. So, you know, try to raise your vibrations. And that's the other thing. The underlying issues, you get awesome things happening to you when you least expect it. Like, if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I need that job, I need that job, I need that job, I need that job, you're not going to necessarily manifest what you want. When you let go, this is when you let go and let God, or spirit, or whatever you want to say it, that whole saying, and then you just forget about it and you move on and you do what you can, you're like, I can't, it's not in my control, I have no control. That's when it starts to move. That's when it starts to work out. So these are universal lessons, guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys can think about situations that you had all throughout your own life and up to where you are right now, where things weren't working out, and then something happened, and you think back on it and be like, was I trying to control that situation, or did I just let it go, and then something just came up, someone offered me my dream job, or I worked hard and I just, you know, gave up on getting that raise, and all of a sudden I got it, you know, or I gave up on trying to have a kid so many times, and then all of a sudden, you know, God gave me a kid. You know, I got pregnant. Or whatever. So, or, you know, I gave up on getting my dream house. And then a couple months later, I get a call from a realtor saying, hey, this is now on the market and it's free and, you know, your offer's gone through. When before you were settling on what you had and moving on. It's that kind of stuff. And we forget about it. We really do forget about it and how that is actually working. Because when we're kids, we don't have to worry about house being there. We don't have to worry about food in our bellies, because our parents are usually the ones that give us that stuff. Mail's here. So basically, when we're kids, we're always in a state of perpetual, like, usually, unless we have other issues, happiness and stuff. So when we have that, we're already in a higher vibration. So whatever we do or whatever we have, we manifest it faster because we're not in that fear center. We're not in like, oh my God, how am I going to put food on the table? Oh my God, how am I going to get kids their clothes on their backs or something? So, and there's another story about that with my childhood too, and that's also why some of us can't manifest as fast as some of the other people. And Lori Morrison did a post on that not too long ago, and it actually, I was getting kind of pissed when I was reading it first, because I was like, no, you know, people are greedy, and the people that have a lot of money, you know, that's why they are. And then it actually, seeing it from her perspective, actually kind of made sense, because what I had to do is I did get out of my ego center. I had to get out of my set pattern ways, what I believe, and be like, okay, wait a minute, let me see if this actually makes sense. See it from her perspective. And actually it did. It made a lot of sense. So it made me realize that hating the people that have a lot of money, that are the big moguls, is not necessarily gonna benefit anybody. Or me. But anyways, I'll post that. I'll go and find it again and I'll post it. You guys go and see what you would prefer on that one. Sorry about the glare and stuff on this. My phone's acting weird. But this is almost going on 20 minutes and I'm so sorry. These are getting really long. I have to go. And I hope you guys got something out of this. Please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate everybody who does. I will return the favor. You help me, I help you, right? It's share the love. It's what we do. So I'm just on here to share tidbits of my spiritual journey, being transparent and understanding the way of the world. Alright. I will see you guys later. Love, light, and blessings. Namaste. See ya.